Hello and welcome back. In this short lecture, we're going to learn about how to work with the XML files. Uh, this is very similar the way we work with the CSV format. It's almost the same kind of commands what we are going to use within the PowerShell for the XML specific. So to begin with that, if I want to work with XML, I need to discover a command line which can useful for the XML specific. So I'm just typing as XML start. So it's gonna pull up some kind of values here. You can check out here very similar. If I go here instead of the XML and CSV, I'm gonna get the very similar output here. If you can see here, the similar things which I'm gonna get it. I just press the Control C so that it's not gonna give out lot command as the output. You can check out here for the XML also you have the converting option, importing, exporting, as well as the selecting. Similar options you do also have here: convert from CSV, convert to CSV, export, and import. So it's very close relation or close command parameters what you can use. So if you work with any of these one time, you should be able to work with even XMLs in an easy way. Let's begin with the XML specific. So you have here at least the 4 different commands that can be used with respect to the XML, right? So the first one would be the selecting CLI, means the client XML. So here you can export a file to a client machine. And here for the importing an XML file, so let's say you have already XML file as output or as the file, and you want to import into PowerShell, you can use with the import format. And if you want to export some kind of output, maybe let's start some kind of output to get it with one of the PowerShell commandlet, and that can be converted into or can be exported to the client XML format as this. And later on, if you want to convert, you can convert that. These are the things which we can play around it. The reason for XML, why we have to use within the PowerShell, if you're quite new, it's very important that most of the time if you're working with any kind of a larger data, mostly we would be working with the XML format, because XML is the mostly accepted format either for the import or export into different applications. So we might have to work with the XMLs within the PowerShell also. So let's take one of the command line to get a specific command line. For example, here I want to get a specific things like get hyphen processes I can run. So this is the one which is coming up here, which is listing my all task manager specific, what are the process IDs and the processor names which are coming here, and it is loading into here. So in the previous example, what we have done is we piped here the processes to one of the XML format, sorry, to the CSV format, but now we are gonna try with the XML format. To do that, so the command is very simple. As we expected, the command should be like get hyphen or whatever the command line. For example, in this case, if I want to choose the processes, and I can pipe this information, that means whatever the output is coming, I'm taking that as an object, because as I said, anything left side to the pipe is considered as the object. So between the pipes also considered as the object. So with this object, what I'm going to do is I'm going to export export-CLI XML. That's the command which we wanted to use. If you can check out the command here, which we wanted to try is the XML, and it's gonna create an XML based representation of the output as that entire object. So that's what I wanted. And if you remember, for the export to the CSV also has a command with a parameter called path. Similarly, this also will have the path, and if not, you can check out the documentation by going for the help here, because both are almost the similar commands as I said earlier. So we can guess and we can use a very similar fashion here. So I'm going to give here as the one of the command as the first dot XML. As I'm just giving as the first dot XML, so it's going to actually export. It might take some time because this output has to be converted in the right format altogether while it is exporting. So it might take some time to get the output. Once I get the output, I can actually go to my Explorer and open up under my C colon, in this case C drive, and here it's going to actually create this XML format file. At this point of time it's just 0 and it got 18 MB of the file. You see here the similar output was causing very high, however it has a different format. So let me open this with maybe a notepad, so that would take some time, because a notepad definitely takes a huge size. It needs the processing time. So you see here the processor ID, reference ID, and the size and the company name of that specific thread, and the reference to that specific DLL file which is triggering in the background. All that has been converted into right format, right way, and it has been converted. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually opening here maybe Chrome, and also Edge, and also I wanted to open maybe some other applications also. The reason for being opening all different applications at this point of time is I wanted to even compare how we can compare the XML files output by using the PowerShell. Also I would like to show you, so that you will be familiar with that. For example, I want to open calculator and some other application like Notepad, and maybe the browsers, two of the browsers I open two of the browsers, and Notepad and calculator and different applications has been already open. Now what I'm going to do is I imagine now a situation where you have you wanted to compare what is the difference between these two of the XML files. So now I wanted to find out the differences between my first XML file and the current XML file. Definitely if I just get the hyphen processes, definitely I would be getting here as the extra processes compared with the previous one, as the one of them would be the Notepad would be started here. Also you have the Chrome specific things are increased, and also the browser, all different things has been increased here. So these data I wanted to export to one more time to another file, and I wanted to get it compared. So to do that, what I'm going to do is here I wanted to run and build a command for the comparison. So PowerShell knows the maths, if you want to know 3 plus 5 equivalent, it actually gives that value. 3 into 5, it gives a value. So it knows the calculations too. So as a next step, since it knows the mathematic comparison, I can use a compare object here. Like I can type here anything is available as a compare, and if I hit enter, nothing is coming. Yeah, I got one compare hyphen object, and the reference of that object should be one of the object which I wanted to import here with the brackets, bracket opening, that is mandatory. Otherwise the maths kind of problems you might get it, like the previous one which we have shown you earlier as the export. Now I'm going to use the, instead of the Export-CLI XML, and now I'm going to import that XML file which is in my first .xml file. Once I have this information, so this is my first XML file which has all my values which I have taken before opening any of the XML files. Now I wanted to close that part. Now I wanted to make a difference, like think that the difference of TIFF and hit enter, you should be able to get one of the different specific parameters, different object. The object would be, again, I wanted to run get hyphen. This is the new command I wanted to run. So I just get this output to immediately to the memory and get it compared. So to do that, I have to type get hyphen. This time I want it for processes. So I need to type process, and for what kind of property I want to compare, because the first property also considered as the one of the object with all these properties. So out of that, which object you want to compare. If you try to compare with PMK, definitely everything will come up here as almost match or may not match, but it would be good property would be the processor name. So I wanted to make it as the property value as the name. So to do that, I just have to give here as the name, like property would be here process name. So type here process name, which should come up here. It's not coming up as the tab, so I need to paste it here the proper value so that it should come up here. Like, yeah, I gave here. So what would happen is here I'm expecting a different applications which are open compared with my first XML versus on the current XML, because I have not yet closed all these open windows. So let's hit enter. It's going to show me all these has been increased. These are the things which I have already opened. So this is what it actually shows. And if you see here in the previous one, you also have this, but in the latest one, you don't have this. So you would be getting a comparison also. You can do it within this XMLs. So it's not just the one. You can do this kind of XML in the real world, because this XML configuration what we have done now. Think about a live practical thing, like you wanted this only the difference information you wanted to import to some kind of database, and you want to work on that specific threads. So it would be easy for you if in a situation when you wanted to compare. So I hope this is useful for you. Thank you for watching this.